Yeah, Prof here. Just wanted to shoot some quick impressions on the Vaxee Zygen 01, I think it is. The first one, the not Zowie mouse. It's supposed to be a combination of the ergonomic shape of an EC2. You kind of see it from the bottom. With the top or like of a S2, and I like the EC2 as well as the S1. I don't know yet if this mouse is really for me though. As you can see, it is hooked up to my bungee. I've been trying to use it. I say trying, but and then the other one in the bungee is actually my customized Rival 106. And here we have the herring blade holder from CW&T. You can see it says the Prof Assist on there. This is the aluminum Type 3 black anodized, hard anodized model. This just came in, and then a while back from the Kickstarter came my titanium one. I was testing this for them, and I highly like it. Highly like this. If you like it for cutting open packages or doing art stuff, where you don't need a lot of real oomph, it is great. For like these snap-off blades, they do have these proprietary ones, so it locks in. However, it will work fine without them. It just won't do the lock part. You just have to hold it with your thumb, which is how the two prototypes that I had were. This isn't really an ad. It just happened to be sitting here, and I really like their stuff. So check it out if you think it's something you could use. The black guy sits right next to the black version of their pen type C, which also has engraving on here. Right now we're on the ultra wide camera on my Pixel 5, so I had to shoot a lower frame rate just because of the lighting in here. Higher frame rate, every time you double it means twice as much light you need. So, as you can see, here's my 106. I love this mouse. This one has Kale 8.0 switches in it. Very tight. I think they're like a crap ton of clicks, like 80 million or something. This red one has Kale 4.0 switches in it. And then I added the, I forgot what those are called, the lizard skins, because with the glossy top on my fingertips, it just gets a little slippery there. Squares, and actually even my mom said they should be on the sides. I don't have an issue with that though. So since it's my mouse, it's not going there. And then these are custom cables here. From, I don't even remember. Let's see here. Dream cables. And mine actually terminate in Type C, because the hub I use for mice also has two Type C ports on it. I thought it would be unique. These are also, I think, 4 foot instead of the normal 6 foot. Just because I only have to go that far. Worked perfectly for me. Well, sorry about that, and we'll get on to why you're here, which is probably the not Zowie, the Vaxee Zygen 01. So, from a top, it's a rather ambidextrous shape, but it's ergonomic. Okay, you'd think I'd like this because it's an ambi shape, but it's not, I'd say ergo, but say curvy. The thing is this is actually flatter than something like the 106. Here. I've been using, this is the MM720 from Cooler Master, what they call the Respawn. And it's a remake of the Spawn with updated everything, crazy stupid light. So I've been using both this and the Vaxee, and then kind of my 106 is like a standby since I've been using it so much, or one of my 106s. That for me used to be the EC2, but the Vaxee here swapped out for the EC2. So I've been using the Vaxee and the MM720 or Respawn. I have actually been having better luck with this guy. I mean, I know it's a shape I already liked, but some of that comes down to the fact that if you notice there's a ledge here, and you can't bump those switches, and they're nice and big with a decent amount of travel. With the 106 as well, you look right here, your thumb sits well below those switches, and they're big, and it actually hooks under there, like they stick out a bit, so when you lift the mouse, your thumb can lift up on those without actuating them. If you look at a Death Adder, pretty big buttons as well. Part of my issue with the Vaxee is little tiny buttons. These are smaller than EC2, smaller than the S1, very tiny buttons. And if you look towards the end, they hook down. Well, with my hand, I can't, if I straight up palm it, which is what I want to do, because that's even what I do with this, even though the mouse is too small and my fingers hang over. My thumb rests on the hooked part in the very front of that button there. And when playing, like I was just tooling around some Call of Duty, played the whole night switching between these two multiple times, and I could probably get used to it, but I would have to adjust my grip, which I don't think you should adjust your grip to a mouse. You should pick a mouse that fits your grip. And I have a pretty consistent grip. And I kept hitting forward, which is melee. So in the middle of a reload or something, I'd bump forward and melee. Or in the middle of shooting, like I'd be gunning down a guy, almost have him, and I'd bump and hit melee. So what I would have to do is actually, I want my hand here. It really should be here. For me then though, that leaves that air gap behind my palm. So that either forces me into fingertip, right? Or if I want to palm, claw. Neither of those are my preference. So, to be truthful, I might want like a bigger version of this. The mouse itself is actually pretty darn amazing. They did a really cool job. I love the textured left and right click. If you notice, what did I do on my 106 there? That was before this was even out. So, I super love that. Also, the post travel or over travel or whatever you want to call it, there's almost none. Like you click, you're done. Which for many people who want to click super duper duper fast, as I'm clicking things on my screen, even though I have barely anything open at the moment, that's super nice. This part of this mouse makes this feel cheap. The amount of post travel on here on the MM720 is just immense, and that's just because it's a bit floppy. An older design that they just updated. This has none. It's the most solid clicks, like not in the like the switch. Those would be the 4.0s. These click way more, but the actual like amount of like it just stops as soon as it clicks immediately after. So you're not like over clicking to shoot. And then this scroll wheel. That is the chunkiest, clickiest scroll wheel both Squeers and I have ever used. It makes everything else, and like the Cooler Masters is pretty good. Or even, I've got the new Roccat that I just shot a quick impression video on. This has an Alps encoder, known to be very good. Like, there's a nice tactile feedback to it, but nothing compared to the Vaxee. Love this. Love the textured clicks, the separated from the body, like they didn't previously have on the Zowies. I really like that they're textured. I might have gone with a slightly more textured body finish, personally. Like I like Razer's kind of finish there. But if you notice, glossy mouse. So like I have no problem with a smooth bodied mouse. And I don't know if my issue with, like, because I want to palm it, but then there's not enough room for my thumb to be up here without actuating, like, I just barely hit it, or like in the heat of the moment. So I use it for browsing around still a whole bunch, but I don't know if I can game with it. It's caused me too many issues. It feels like a really nice quick mouse. So if you're more on the fingertip or claw side, thumbs up, like definite thumbs up. If you're got a smaller hand than I do, here's hand to 20-ounce soda bottle. I don't know. I think it's like 18.5 or something I measured at some point. Just smaller hand than I do in general. You might be able to palm this a bit better. But otherwise, I'd probably stay away from it from palm. I really hope they make a Zygen 02 and make it bigger, or a Zygen 1 XL. Because like even, okay, going over to this Roccat Burst here, this, and I already knew taking out of the box in my last video, this fits my hand so well. This just, it's a little short on the rear end, and that's what's causing me a lot of issues, because then I want to choke up on it and I get myself into trouble. 106 here, definitely bigger than the Burst. The hump in the back, nowhere near. Like, this thing's got a big old hump right there. But this felt amazing in my hands. I haven't played with it yet, but I picked it up and it felt better than the Vaxee. Now, this might just be a hand size thing, and if they come out, I would be interested in trying a slightly larger Zygen. Now, maybe it's designed for more fingertip, because I know that's where a lot of these like Pro and Super, they want a smaller mouse. But I just need a little bit more butt on mine, I guess. Well, if you liked my comments, you know, let me know, or let me know what you guys think. I know it's a pretty rare mouse. I was very happy that I could get both squares and eye one of them. We also got replacement mouse feet of both thicknesses. Like, it is a freaking fantastic mouse, and if you do collect mice, pick one up, because it will like change some things for you. Like these textured clicks, there's no post travel, none. Like, it sounds like a ratchet. You know what I mean? So like, there are many good things about the mouse. I just don't know if the shape's for me. Let me know what you think about my thoughts. If you have any questions, obviously throw them below. I'll see what I can do about answering them for you. And, you know, keep an eye out for other videos. And yes, these are the Pikachu Razer earbuds. I had to have them. The same guys that have been able to get me the 106s, Corn Electronics, were able to get me that, as well as a couple other things. So yeah, at some point I probably will post a video on that. So see you next one. I know I've cut that off a number of times now.